Well, hello folks, this is Kabe and we are watching the EDL number 15, the Great Grand Final. The match which is starting right now and where the glorious players of... Oh well, okay, it isn't starting right now, or it is? It is. Fine. We had an old scores, because David was a person who helped to warm up to both players before the match, and now it is already starting, finally starting another final, and I hope we will have a little bit of time to discuss the matter of how much did they face each other and how much tournaments did they win for. They both are the most famous players who won the highest numbers of EDL finals ever, and David, who helped them, is the third player to the number of his championships. And now PURRI playing his map that we have seen already against Blaze. We was watching this match sort of 3 weeks ago or so, and now the map OMF, also known as well Must Fall, and PURRI certainly taking that, just like we all was probably waiting, and just like Damiah himself was certainly expected from him. And this is the map when they did start at last, and 0-0 score right now, and perfect position for PURRI, for he had mega health and also armor. Nice little catch with the hyperplaster in this position, and the weapon that we already mentioned in the previous cast that both players and especially PURRI is using very much, and PURRI is definitely the player who is using hyperplaster most of all the players among the Q2 scene, and Damiah tried it too and used it quite a bit in the game against Blaze, the decisive game of the losers bracket that was very tough, and Damiah was only able to win in the score 3-2, came back from the 1-2 disadvantage, and Blaze was really close, and still he ended up on the third position. Precisely a very good achievement for a CIS player. Never anyone has reached the same in the history, and still I think he was disappointed because he beat Blaze twice. He beat Damiah twice in the group stage once and in the winner bracket once, and now he's still not here, still not in the grand finals for the first time ever, still have his own way to go, and PURRI and Damiah continuing, if there is such a verb, of going away that we're on for quite a bit. And now the chain gun, and apparently not good enough, and Damiah is good enough to avoid this and get out of aim and finish his opponent with a perfect rail, and had a lead, getting a lead with 2-0. This map is quite a map when it is all about aim. It is just what Damiah said to me when I was discussing the final matter with him. And how does he feel? Does he feel like he can win this one? I also asked PURRI the same, but he didn't reply. But Damiah said that I will definitely pick Q2 RDM2, and I'm sure that PURRI will definitely pick OMF, and this is all the map about aim, and if I can hit, and if it will be my day, I am sure I can put up a good fight. And now he is putting up quite a good fight, and he is in the lead already with a score of 3-0, and still 11 minutes to go, and sure PURRI can come back rather fast. Nice attempt to hit a rocket, which didn't end successfully, as PURRI is 100 health still. And Damiah seems a little bit lost to me on the map right now, because he doesn't have much health. And yes, PURRI getting mega health after that engagement. He is coming back in terms of map control, and he will be pushing his opponent. That PURRI lift Damiah used quite successfully. I actually mentioned that lift position to him, not sure it was any new to him, of course, because he was apparently watching PURRI's games, and analyzing that too, but still now he's really good with that. I don't know how good have Damiah practiced this map and how wide was that practice, because there is only Muerte who knows everything about everyone, and I'm certainly not. A lot of games for me to follow on my esports job lately, so I can't quite catch up with all Quake 2 practice, unfortunately, but still the official matches is something I try not to miss and watch it in the company with you guys, and we are rather much in number comparing to how it usually look, and that is very nice to see, and I hope I also made some job with my English language. Okay, now rocket jump, very offensive play by PURRI that isn't yet proved itself a reasonable move, in my opinion, but still PURRI is in a very high durability, almost full mega health and quite a bit of yellow armor. Damiah picked up another armor just now, and PURRI can't catch him out of position yet, and another attempt trying to start his chain beforehand. That is a very necessary thing to do in Quake 2, because weapons start very slow and chain gun in the main as a main slow weapon, and Hyper Blaster is the second. And also we need to mention that the pings now are rather high, because they are about 45, and for example it was 20 if you recall that when Damiah was playing against Blaze. Now they are higher, so we are definitely not going to see chain gun of 31% accuracy as it has been in that game when Damiah was just sort of unstoppable chain gun user, because I think I have never seen a 31% chain gun in my whole viewer's career, which is apparently not as rich as again Muerto or someone else, but still I watch Quake 2 for a good 12 or 13 years already, if we don't count Polosati times, which when I was quite an active viewer also, but of course back then there were no such a high efficient aiming and hitting players, and still 31 is something which had never happened before, I think, and it will never, or at least it will not the case in this match, for sure. Chain gun is ready, and PURRI is also out of cells, and now he picks up, and he tried to connect his rail, but he wasn't able to, so now Damiah picks it back and take control again, and he will pick up the Mega, which isn't to pop up yet. It is about 10 seconds to go apparently, and he knows that he's out of something, probably rockets. I didn't follow that to say for sure. And PURRI to take yellow armor. Mega went out very quick, and so both players, well, probably PURRI doesn't know for sure that he made enough damage to hit Mega from his opponent. Why Damiah dropped it, I didn't quite understand that move. He's probably... oh no, he was just sure enough that PURRI wouldn't go, I think. Or maybe I'm missing that totally. Okay, that is Mega. I wasn't missing that. Damiah was just very cool and very strategically going to the engagement to press his opponent until the end to make a frag and then come back and take the Mega, and that is a very brave thing to do against PURRI in the grand finals on his own map, but well, we don't judge winners usually, I guess, so it was quite spectacular and good working move. Okay, let's see how it turns out. 7 to 1 now in favor of Damiah, and only 5 minutes to go. Very convincing start for the match. There will be RDM2, which is Damiah's home map for quite a bit of time. Of course, there was also P-Trip, and we will have time, I think, to discuss also the matter of maps. And generally, I have prepared a number of themes to talk about, but players charged up to the game quite fast, and also I had to finish watching my team's League of Legends match, which I wasn't able to do because they are still playing, but the match also started, so I switched here and will have to watch the recordings afterwards. But however, there will be pauses, I think, so we will have time to bring up some statistics, because it can be quite an interesting thing to speak about. Okay, to talk about, I guess, will be the right thing to say. Another frag goes for PURRI, who was really excellent with his rocket launcher, and now 3 to 7 and 4 minutes to go. PURRI with 100 to 100 and no mega health here on the map, but it will pop out right now. PURRI was quite up to that, and very nice grenade now from the Damiah. Not so much damage, but still it's minus 100, so a little nice nerf you will be ready to apply any time of day, I guess. And in the end, PURRI catches him up with his, I guess that was Emma Pack chain gun. Quite a bit of cells, and now trying to catch up his opponent on this yellow armor position, and connects the whole good 2 rockets. Not full damage apparently, but in the end he catch Damiah, and it is already just 1 frag. And just look how fast this frag's advantage melt for Damiah, because that is PURRI's map. He knows how his opponent will play, and he knows how to sit on the map exactly and completely, and just don't give his opponent a room to breathe for mere a second. And a very good and convincing play, and of course Damiah should be extremely defensive now, but what a railgun hits here, great connection, and PURRI tries to engage and push his opponent, but Damiah was very good with his Hyper Blaster in a defensive manner, and now he dropped his opponent down to 50-50 only, and what a position for Damiah to be caught in, but still PURRI afraid to engage further because he was rather low in health, but in the end still close his opponent here near the chain gun position with the rocket launcher, and try to pick up 1 more frag, and he goes forward. Damiah was making perfect movements in my opinion, but probably there was just no possibility to come back from that position if your opponent is PURRI, and another good frag in Damiah's attempt to catch up quickly. A couple of rockets to control the yellow armor spot, and a very good map read from PURRI now. He picks up a mega health and connects 2 perfect rockets again. Very good play now. Missing railgun and no second opportunity his opponent gives to him. Still PURRI plays very cool and good now. He doesn't need to engage anymore as he is in the lead already, and very good chain gun from Damiah and very good movement in the first place. Neither rocket connected him, but still he didn't take away too much health either. And okay, in the end it goes for PURRI, And this is actually a very good news for us as spectators, because RDM2 is a sort of map that Damiah will most likely win, and if it would be 2-0, it probably would end too fast for this class of match, this type of El Clasico of Quake 2, and we of course want a full best of 5 series, unlike to the players themselves apparently, but that is where the opinions of players and spectators usually differ from each other, and it is probably also a good moment to mention that we have no advantage for the player who comes from the winner's bracket in this season system. So PURRI doesn't have any advantage. He doesn't need to win one map less comparing to his opponent, and now he is starting in the very good respawn, not the best in the game, but still he is with the railgun in the very beginning, and he also takes the mega health now, 200 to 50 with the railgun on the map. And Damiah on his side have a yellow armor, has a rocket launcher and has a chain gun, and still he has to play in the very defensive style, and I'm quite sure that he would prefer his opponent to start and respawn, but this is how this map is played, and this is the position when you are to pop out in the beginning from time to time, and you are just not in the position to change, to choose, I mean, and you have to be ready to play from any, and that is sort of things that Myrmidon are known to be famous of talking about DM1, because there are spawns in the low machine gun and there are spawns in the room, and you have to be able to play from any if you want to be considered a good DM1 player. And if you can just play from room, fine, but you still are not good dueler. And this is actually a very right position to have for a player who is approaching playing duels, and I'm quite sure that here in the grand final match the Damiah is starting from the very same position, the very same mindset, and it is not the match when I'm going to speak about his nerves and how he is losing his temptation and probably dropping the map and saying, okay, GG, let's go the next, because the final and the PURRI are always the special matches and the special opponent to play against, where you might lose in the minus score, and that is quite okay, because that is how the game turns out sometimes. A very great rocket from the Damiah, very brave attempt, and very nice. It turned out in the way, and this is the fast reward coming up for him right now, because he takes the railgun, he kills his opponent and takes his railgun too, and now he is 20 slugs, or probably 18, because he make a couple of shots already, and in the perfect position with the mega health and 40 yellow armor, and great position for hit, but probably pink or just PURRI's good movement helps him here to avoid, but still Damiah is now in that kind of position when he is very familiar and knows how to play. Weird attempt of PURRI now, he was trying to take railgun, I believe, and very unexpected move, and Damiah was certainly not about to hit in that kind of jump, and he didn't, but still it ended good for him, as PURRI didn't didn't execute that how he was going to, and great rocket. A bit cheap attempt of PURRI of going to Mega that was quite predictable, and Shards now giving away his position, and Damiah know where his opponent is. He is there in the bottom yellow armor, and he's trying. Just look how fast he moving between these two positions, and he connects the railgun and another rail. A very spectacular hit now, and he's about to catch his opponent, and PURRI could even crater here, but he didn't. And now Damiah trying to understand where did PURRI respawn, and it seems that it was in the bottom position near the rail, near the rocket launcher, I mean. And PURRI tries to connect. I'm not sure I really like how PURRI plays this, to be honest, because it is sort of kidding, and probably it's time to say about PURRI losing nerves, but I don't really know PURRI as a player who is about losing his nerves. Probably the closest matter was his Quake Con 20-0, 200-0 when he lost against the Hank on the 10-3, but that is quite an old story. I mean, it was 10 years ago, even we consider it a modern story, a modern part of Quake 2 story, because it is about the time, just a year or two since that was a great slump in the motivation of Quake 2 players, when PURRI and Damiah paused to appear in the Quake 2 and EDL finals for quite a bit, and there was 3 finals when they didn't face each other, and even 2 finals where neither of them was, when David played against Numavets, and still it was quite a time ago, and PURRI now 10 years older and probably 10 years more experienced, and probably quite that experience was the thing that led him to come back now on this map after that attractive but inefficient movements he made with his weird rocket jumps along the map, and now he was able to kill his opponent, but not in this position when he totally lost his position actually and let his opponent kill him. That is also what make difference on the map, when one maps for one player and another map for another player, and if we will ever have viewers which are not that experienced in Quake 2, probably on YouTube in the recording, those may wonder how can map really differ, because the game is sort of almost 20 years old. It is 20 years old in fact, and maps are same for quite a bit of time, and how players can not know them, and they of course do know them, but when you really play the map as your home map, it is the case when you know about every position which may happen, or at least you know the positions, more position than your opponent does. So in the most engagement you are the better prepared player and you execute it better. It is sort of having an upgrade advantage in StarCraft or other strategies, when your units are just sort of most efficient, and playing your home map you are most efficient when you're comparing to your opponent, and that is quite a thing to consider. And of course players tend to kick the maps when they are not up to face another player on their maps, and now it is still again the very close map. It is already 4-7 and PURRI is very good too in his control, and of course his perfect rail might do the trick in the end, because he really can hit pretty much everywhere, but still the Damiah connected here. His super shotgun hit very good and put his opponent a bit out of control, a bit out of mega health, but we will be able to take another one. Nice rocket came right to the face of PURRI from Damiah. Still he is 150 on 50 and almost 200 in total. It is 2 direct rockets to be connected to kill him. Quite a bit damage to catch. Not like PURRI is really about to attracting so much, but still Damiah connect them from time to time, and he's still in the lead. It is just 5 minutes to go, and on OMF, on One Must Fall, on the first map of this grand final match, as you might remember, that was about the same and even higher advantage, but PURRI was able to overcome and ended in his lead by 5 frags, and now that probably won't repeat because Damiah know how to play the map better, and the map is rather more defensive. Not the most defensive map in history, but still it is the map when you can take the position there in the bottom, and it is quite hard to engage. It is the map when you will almost for sure will get -100 when you are trying, and PURRI didn't want to try not having Mega, not having his 100 armor, but now he does have them, does have buff, and he will apparently try to jump in, jump down and try to engage, and Damiah is just perfect getting away from there and changing his position, changing his loadout. Nice try, but I think Damiah wasn't there. He moved to the chain gun, listening very cautiously to what is happening on the map right now, and PURRI trying to find an angle but still can't do so, and now another shift walk attempt. Nice rocket but a little bit slow. Damiah slips away again and will PURRI fails his rocket jump, the third rocket jump to fail in fact, and that is a very poor performance as to the very decisive match of the league. And but PURRI believing in himself and try to play aggressively, try to play and follow his trademark play style, because all we know that PURRI is the player who always play very offensively and a little bit unstrategically sometimes, but that is what spectators and players in Quake love him for, and he never, I mean, betrayed his playstyle yet, I think. I don't think I can remember any match when he was playing defensively like 2-0 hide in 10 minutes. There was another player to do so, but it's not the time to talk about that, because the probably decisive engagement here, and Damiah will be most likely killed in this position, or maybe he won't, because PURRI is out of cells and Damiah gets away on the mere 1 health, and if only PURRI knew that, he would end him much more quick, I mean, with his super shotgun, but he was still very nice to do his job, and Damiah is out of any ammo, and PURRI missed the railgun on the jump pad, the position when any top player shoot 100% hit, when he was just 5 minutes awake and not sleeping 3 nights before that. That is sort of, there is a very famous video of Stevie Ray Vaughan, the famous bluesman, a blues player, when he was sleeping in the back room and they wake him up and told, okay Stevie, it's time to make a check sound, and he just comes and play incredible fast solo, and spectators was just sort of, what the fuck, how is it even possible? And I mean, that wasn't position to hit, where to hit was how that even possible, because it is a very basic position to hit the player on the jump pad, and now just look how it turns up, turns and strikes back for PURRI, because he's losing position, he let his opponent go away to pick up more yellow armor, and now he is, I mean PURRI is also missing the jump to the railgun. Damiah is pretty much up to what's happening right now on the map, but he is 2 frags leading and he doesn't want to engage to that open area against railgun because there is no one but PURRI and he is able to connect the rail or 2 or 3 in any time of day, and that is when you just have to play defensively and hold position and listen cautiously and be aware of every movement of your opponent do. And Damiah is quite a player to do that job because he can play very fast and advance his advantage, to promote his advantage very fast and make frags, but when he need it, he can really slow the play, and he does that slow play now. He does that very efficiently, and now we have a 1-1 score in maps, and that is just what we was hoping for. And now we have the next map to be determined yet, because we have an elimination stage, kicking and picking stage now after 2 maps was played, and that is to me always a very interesting stage of any match, because that is a very strategical part, and let's see how the players will decide and play out that stage, that part of the game. And PURRI of course decide to start, and now it is a good moment, I think, to make a little introduction, strategical introduction, because both players have a very similar maps in their overall statistics for whole the 15 EDL seasons, because they both played Q2 DM1 for the most playable map, RDM2 and P-Trip for the second and the third, and the only difference that Damiah has RDM2 more and PURRI has P-Trip more. And also the fourth map is Walkover, by the way, which is set, and Damiah has a bit more because he forfeited 1 season in the group when he wasn't able to play much in that period of motivation slump between like 8th and 13th season. And now let's check what's happening. PURRI of course removing RDM2 and Damiah start from DM3. PURRI continues with Duel 5, a map he doesn't play really often, and he even lost to 8 once. Not like 8 is a bad player, but not the level of PURRI, of course. And Damiah removes OMF, then PURRI kicks DM1, a bit unpredictable for me. ZTN2 goes down for PURRI, and that is predictable because Damiah plays ZTN3 the next map after P-Trip in his history. And now we have RDM2, ZTN2, and that's it for the next 2 map, and they will start on ZTN2 on the Killing Machine, the map that we CIS players and CIS viewers are really know good and really know how to play. And I rather should spectate but not join in the team. And that is the map that can turn really differently. And sometimes it can be very attractive and very fast and very spectacular, and sometimes and very slow and very strategically, and very less frags, little number of frags. Of course, we can't be sure yet how will it turn out now. For me, ZTN2 is rather seems to be the map in PURRI's advantage. By the way, we should update an overlay now. because we know the next map already. And I believe that this sort of move... oh, it doesn't. Well, we can also press the button, not that hard to... not that tough thing to do. Because PURRI played and picked the TN2 DM2 map quite some time ago, but still he did so, and I believe there was a famous, apparently a third place match with Demo on this map with a very fun bug. But you can find it in movies if you like, and now PURRI is respawning on the red armor and Damiah is respawning on the mega health, and so PURRI has his 200 armor and hyper blaster and the railgun, and Damiah has his chain gun and his rocket launcher. A very balanced position, the most balanced which is even possible, because of course red armor is very quite a bold item to have here, but still, if it's PURRI, the railgun is also a very decisive weapon on the map, and in fact railgun is a weapon which can be used very efficiently, and there are players who build whole their game from the railgun on this map, but still the most of players, including me in my Division 3, and including Damiah and Blaze and I guess David and many more, are preferring to count the rocket launcher very accurately, and now we see that Damiah missing the yellow armor in order of not giving away his position to the opponent, and now comes down from this bottom position, which I am not actually a big fan of, and now we see that he gives away the yellow armor to PURRI. Not quite a good thing to do apparently, but still he decided not to engage in that bottom red armor cave, and now waiting for the rocket launcher to pop out. PURRI gaining a little more armor, shards becoming very useful when you have yellow armor already. As you might know, shards give you any type of armor. In any case, they give you 2 per unit, but if you doesn't have any, they count as gray, and then when you pick red armor or yellow even, they switch almost to nothing, because a coefficient applies to him, and that is the math of Quake 2, which you probably know or not know, but that is just how it works. So it is very cool when you have a red armor already, so you can gain over 200, and PURRI was trying to make it happen, but now Damiah gains a good 100, and no one has now a red armor, and no one, I mean mega health, and it is time to engage for that, and I'm not sure if PURRI had one, and he did. Okay, PURRI has mega health now, and he will try to... yes, his attempt is successful. He gets his mega health, and now he's in the 150 for 100. A very nice little trick from PURRI, and sort of thing which is different for both of players, because Damiah won't ever waste his time to do the tricks like that, for the case if he won't be able to make them. I'm not sure if he ever practiced them, but he never jump on RDM2 to the railgun, and he never jumps here on the ZTN2 either, and he never make a tough jumps on DM1, and always do the very basic one to take a mega health. And that was, by the way, a very different moment and option in the EDL 4 final when Damiah was playing against Provi on RDM2, because Provi took the railgun via that 4-jump creek for the sump few times during the game, and Damiah doesn't do it either, never, as I said already, and PURRI now trying to use his Hyper Blaster, and quite successful with them, because Damiah left without any armor almost. Very nice read of the map from Damiah, and PURRI ends up having first blood here, but for that's no a MOBA game, it doesn't give him sort of anything except the one frag advantage and of course the lead position on the map, for he has 200 health and 177 armor already, and that is very easy and fast to scale up to 200 if you don't count that mega health is running away, unlike to armor, and I'm not sure that Damiah can go away, and he can't. And nice control rocket, but Damiah didn't appear there. There are 6 spawns, I believe, on this map. I read the guide of the killing machine from Polosati. I think that was like 20 years ago when I read it, and that was like 18 years ago when it was read, and not sure it exists anywhere in internet still, but he was talking that there are 6 respawns on this map, if I recall correctly, and so yeah. And now PURRI have a 3 frags advantage already. Tries to connect the railgun, which wasn't there. Railgun was, but opponent wasn't. And nice catch here, and Damiah unexpectedly makes 2 frags in a row. The first frag was quite a few unexpected already, and the second was even more, probably just like how it wasn't meant from how the games went on, but was going on, but still the spawn frag itself of course wasn't. Quite an unexpected thing to happen on any map in Quake Duel. And now it's 3-2 and very equal position. Maybe not really, because PURRI has his red armor and is very offensive with his Hyper Blaster, and as Damiah has very low in health, he can't really engage that, and that is a very interesting thing to do, and interesting usage of that weapon that is that seems to be finding its way back to the high level games, and rather not back but just forth, because it wasn't there any time in the Quake 2 history, I believe, and probably this is the game when it is used the most, if you mean the successive usage. And of course Duel 5 is also the map when it happens sometimes, because you just sometimes don't have another weapon, but Duel 5 is apparently the map which we won't see in this final, because PURRI will kick it in any case, I guess, if it goes to the 5th map, but it is yet to tell, because it is 5-2 and at least 1 map to go. The score is 1-1 right now, and another attempt from Damiah, not successful though, and PURRI with his 200 armor, 120 health, and trying to camp his opponent to hit the basic point on this map. Unsuccessful though, and the control rocket isn't connected to. Nice move from the PURRI on that left ramp. Oh, and Damiah was now attempting to make a trick, which I told him never done before. Not sure if he did or not, but it was at least 1 attempt now, and just proved why he doesn't try that too often. But not sure if it worth it or not. Now he gave quite a bit of damage from the PURRI's chain gun and just 100 durability in total.
25.
And now just 4 because rail was connected in a very convincing fashion, a very standard position, and another frag with the chain gun. Nice respawn because Damiah was at least able to steal the red armor and PURRI doesn't have any, so Damiah is, in case of the lucky spawn, he could be able to come back from this spot right now, but unfortunately PURRI took all the weapons instead the railgun, except the railgun, and also Mega cost him 100 of damage, so doesn't make any worth at all. And 8 to 2, another standard frag. A bit weird why Damiah went here, because it was quite predictable for me to PURRI to be in this position and to be waiting for him coming in this angle, but still it is up to players to decide, of course, and that is how Damiah decided this position. Just look how defensively and accurately and cautiously PURRI plays here, not engaging to Damiah, knowing that just for the time while he is falling from up to down, he will get so much damage that it will be probably unable to recover from. And unfortunately, unlike to what I told about Damiah, that in the final match he apparently won't leave the map too fast. Unfortunately, after that he did, and the next map is ZTN2. DM3 was kicked, and that would be called, if I recall correctly. No, I don't, because it is RDM1. Q2 RDM1 for the next map so far. And the score in the match is 2-1. PURRI in the lead now, and RDM1 is also the map where he is quite capable of playing really good, and still Damiah is good there too, and he showed a great game against Blaze a few days ago in the losers final, and now he certainly will be able to show some great play now too. And what's happening now? Damiah doesn't want to play that map. I mean, it seems that Damiah thought that PURRI had one map advantage, and so he won the match already, and so he wasn't considering which map to end, and that's why he just picked ZTN2 DM2 to play and end the match just here, in case of PURRI win, if I understood it correctly. There isn't advantage, I'm sure. There isn't a map advantage for a winner for sure. I asked Seba before the match. Okay, some weird things to happen. Still, PURRI says that it is in the rules, which is written in the on the EDL website, and that is sick. If so, actually there is a problem on the site, because the rules was restored to the some basic version few times, just some sort of server dumping, and probably they are not up to the actual rules how admins thought it have to be played. It has to be played, and Seba is now going to check that out. Seba is this season admin, along with Claire and some assistants too. And okay, let's see how will this turn out in the end. I just hope us to see the whole best of 5 series. Personally, I hate when it's the system of winner advantage in best of 5, because it's like you are having 2 liters of beer, you are taking your friends to your place, and you are going to just have a couple of hours of good watch, and then it's just ends sort of best of 2.5 hour, and you feel yourself betrayed, and that's just not how it has to work, in my opinion. And unfortunately, Tseba says that rules means that PURRI won, because as a player coming from the winner's bracket, he had a map advantage still, even if he himself and me and everyone else was sure it isn't the case. And that's what Damiah meant, that he would definitely pick RDM2 if he knew that this map is the last one, but the map played already and it can't be now changed, and that means that PURRI just become the champion of EDL 15, the champion for the 7th time in his sort of career, if you mean that. But PURRI is the only player which can be called a pro gamer in Quake 2, for he played for Fnatic team back then, and so yes, and he becomes, and he actually defends his position of the most efficient player, the player with the most titles in the Quake 2 history, modern history at least, and he has 7 wins, while Damiah has 4 and David has 3 and PURRI has 1, and those great players, of course, who played in 13 finals out of 15, at least one of them, almost all the finals in this history, which took from 2004 to 2017, 13 years history. 2 most successive players faced each other today, and they played great games, and PURRI was on top, and PURRI was stronger, PURRI was the winner. A bit frustrating that too fast it ended, and just 3 maps we watched, but still it is the tournament and there are the rules, and that's how we should play. And of course we are now awaiting for the next season to start, because players seem to gain their motivation back after that dark and dusk period of a motivation slump that we had for probably 4 or 5 years, when Damiah and PURRI wasn't playing at all, or was playing but didn't take it serious, and was defeated by the other players, and the players which was great players, of course, too, like David, like Assassin, like the others, but still El Clasico is something that can't be probably changed with anything for us. But of course, I hope that David will be able to join again and prove himself the best dueler one more time, if he can, and probably prove him one of the best, advance into the semifinals, and probably Blaze can achieve that again. And many stories to be ended, and many personalities to have their priceless opinions, because just look on people that we have, like Muerte, like Myrmidon, like all that people who are hanging around, who are making comments, watching games, recording games, giving out demos, and just how attractive all those persons are, and probably that these are also why this game isn't dying. Still no commercial support, no real number of viewers, and no real number of players. The team league is shrinked, and still we have 2-on-2 league back again, and this ideal season run very smooth, and of course its admins are also people that we should be grateful for. So Seba and Claire and their supports, very big thanks to you all, guys. Impressive job you have done during this year, and I just hope that when the summer ends, just like the song When September Ends, but actually when September starts, I hope to see all you guys back again, and not just on my channel, but on the IRC channel and EDL, and on the EDL website, on Q2 scene, and of course in the games, on the servers in the game that we all love for the 20 years already, and it just something that shouldn't ever stop and shouldn't ever end. And this is my opinion, and this is where I stand, and this is where I'm going to remain for the next half year, and then I'll say hello to you again, and we'll continue to watch an impressive games. And now it's right precisely time to say goodbye, and thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my little channel, and see you later. Bye.